guys, I'm out here along one of our coastal roads, just kind of taking a nice ride. I want to test some stuff. I'm just getting some footage because I want to try some new editing techniques. I want to try to apply some of the work that I do with my photography to the videos. I'm not sure if it's going to translate, because I'll tell you what, editing, as far as the software goes, photos versus video is just completely different. And I have to figure out how to do what I want to do. I mean, everything is different, from the tools to the terms to how you use them, even though it's the same company. And I'm not a video expert by any means. I don't need to be. The videos I do, obviously, they're very basic. I'm not doing any kind of wedding videos or cinematography or feature films or any of that kind of stuff. I'm just dipping my toes into the world of Adobe Premiere, and that's all I need to do. So it's not like Photoshop or Lightroom where I am an expert at it, and I actually teach classes to other photographers on how to use it. So I know that stuff inside and out, so I know what I want to do. It's just translating that, doing a lot of Googling and a lot of trial and error, and figuring out how to do it and how to do it efficiently in Premiere. There are some things that I have figured out how to do in Premiere, and the problem was figuring out how to do it efficiently. If it takes me 10 times as long to do something as it did in Vegas, or I thought it should take me, that's no good. For example, in Vegas, just a quick difference between the two, there are some tools where you can apply, say, an effect to an entire project very simply. When you edit in Premiere and Vegas, you have a timeline, and say you drag 2 clips down to the timeline to make your video. Well, if you wanted to, for example, bump the saturation of your entire project to make the colors a little more vivid, in Vegas, you simply drag an effect down to the project, and every clip in the project gets that effect. Real simple. The other cool thing is with it, you can create a preset. You can create a template, basically. So you open up your blank template, and it already has that effect applied to the timeline. So you can drag your clips right on there, and they automatically get that. You don't ever have to do it again. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, efficiency. Well, with Premiere, neither one of those happen. With Premiere, you have to apply, you can do it a couple ways. You can, well, there's like 3 or 4 ways you can do it, but none are as efficient. The most inefficient, and the way I was doing it first, was every single clip needs to get the effect, and you have to either save a effect preset and apply that, or set the level manually. But the point is, each clip had to get the effect separately. So if you had 20 clips, that's 20 times you have to apply the effect and, hit each one. Or you can basically use multiple sequences, so basically like multiple projects in Vegas terms. And then when you're done making your project, when you're done making your whole timeline, you've got all your clips in place, you drag the whole project into another one. You drag one sequence into another sequence in Premiere terms. So what that gives you is basically an outer wrapper, and then you can apply the effect once to the outer wrapper, and that has the same effect. But you can't automate it. You can't then save it as a template and open up a new file later and have that automatically happen. You have to do that at the end of every video that you edit. So that's not bad, and that's what I do now, but it's not automatic. It's not quite as good as Vegas. So that's the kind of stuff I figure out, and today I'm going for some more image quality and specific look kind of things. So I'll play around with it. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see by the time this video goes up. Looks like I got to get some gas. And I still have to figure out this dang battery issue. I think I know what the problem is. But lately, I've been turning the camera on by Wi-Fi, starting a recording, and anywhere from 7 to 25 seconds later, it automatically shuts off. But only on the first clip. I really have no idea why. Obviously, this second one is still going, but man, I was talking for a good 10 minutes there before I noticed. I looked down, and it was still going. I waited, I think, about 20 seconds the first time, so it cut off sometime after that. No idea. Maybe I'll see if there's some new firmware for the remote or the GoPro camera. I don't think there is. But I haven't fired up the GoPro software in forever, so it hasn't exactly been checking. But they're really bad about updates for the GoPros. It's like once a year you get one if you're lucky, so I doubt there's anything out there. But I just have no idea why it's doing it recently. I'm not doing anything differently. Anyway, today the wife and I are celebrating our 9th wedding anniversary. Did I already say that? See? Now I can't remember what I already talked about. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, because I was talking about Arigato. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about what we're going to do. So, Arigato used to be our favorite restaurant, so we're going out for hibachi tonight, which is the type of restaurant Arigato was. And we're trying a place we haven't been to. There's a few of them around here, and every one except one we've been to we'd never go back to again, because they just weren't good. Just not good food. Prices have all been okay, but not worth going back to. We even had Groupons to one, and man, we were out of there for like 15 bucks a person, and we still wouldn't go back. So we're trying this one pretty far south of here, and then we're going to go see Furious 7. So that'll be our celebration. We're doing that because she's a teacher, and our anniversary is on Wednesday, and she'll be home real late, so won't have a chance to do anything. Coming up here on a little bit of the coastal road, and there's a lot of mangroves that grow right along here. You can see them starting here on the left. The water's right there. You just can't see it. And there's a little, you can see some right here, maybe. It's only a couple feet below the road. And mangroves are a tree. They grow mostly above the water. They have a big root system that they kind of stand on. So they deal with the rising tide and all that. And there's a bunch of them around here, but they're not especially thick. Now, if you go a little bit south, they get real thick. There are little forests of mangroves along the shore. And we went down a few years ago, and we took our jet skis and went down into Lee County. Oh my God, jet ski heaven down there if you like wave jumping. And that's all I love to do. I had a very modified two-stroke 1997 GP 1200 Yamaha, and I had it heavily modified, and it was just for acceleration and wave jumping. Only topped out at 60, but it got there in maybe 2 seconds. It was faster than this bike, 0 to 60, absolutely. It was all hookup, and I just loved wave jumping. Now here at Clearwater Beach, it's pretty good. Most of the time, if there's a good breeze out, it'll have a nice rolling set for about a half a mile. There's a nice couple sandbars out there, and you can have a lot of fun. There has to be a wind, though. Down there where we went, there's a huge shipping channel a couple miles offshore. And when the container ships and the tankers and everything go through, that combined with the wind just sets up for an endless run of 2 to 4 foot rolling waves. It is just absolutely heaven, and it's a workout. So we went down there and we just jumped for hours. Just awesome. Then the other cool part is right on the other side of the sandbar towards shore, the locals have carved out mazes, trails through the mangroves. Now imagine if you're on a bike, you have awesome hookup everywhere you go, so you don't have to worry about sliding and crashing too much. But you've got a foot on either side of you, and you have to duck down sometimes to go under trees. And you've got miles of trails like that to play around in. Well, that's how these mangrove trails and forests are down there, because the locals have carved out all kinds of jet skiing trails through them. So we went with a couple locals, followed them in a little train of jet skis, and just had a blast going through there for half an hour. It's not even that big of a deal if you miss a turn or, you know, slide out and crash into the mangroves. They're not especially thick, so you don't hurt yourself. Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. He revved up and it just sent chills down my spine for a second there. Totally didn't see him. This is a very popular road for motorcyclists to wipe out, because as you can see, these corners are pretty damn tight. And if you go just a little bit over your ability level, you end up in the guardrail, and it's a very regular thing. You'll see every one of these corners has new rails or repairs, and that's exactly why. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, they all do it. The other thing is these tar snakes get really slick. They're like rubber balloon material, and when they bake out here in the sun, they get super soft and squishy. It's actually very strange that they're out here. We usually don't use them or see them on the roads. This is the only one I can think of in this entire area that I've seen with this many of them. Now I'd be going a little faster if this car wasn't here, but I'm not in any rush. Like I said, I'm just out for a little tiny test pleasure ride here. Give you a little bit of scenery. Huh, you know, I don't think I've ever been in that little park there. I don't feel like going down that dirt drive, but I'll have to check that out one day. Not sure what's back there. Every time I've gone by, the gate's been locked. I don't know if it's a recent build or it's just been closed when I went by, or maybe they were working on it or what. It looks pretty new, just from what I saw there at a glimpse. They had some what looked like brand new playground equipment, and that drive doesn't look quite finished. And you know, I want to say it was a very rough dirt entrance the last time I went by there, but it's been a while, so who knows. Anyway guys, that's it. Happy Easter again. If I can't remember if I said that. Happy Easter to anyone that celebrates. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.